my friend, it's Pat Sloan here on Block Wednesday. So we are on block, what number are we? So this is week 6 of the festivals and fireworks for Block Wednesday. Starburst, doesn't it look like festivals and fireworks, just shooting off all over the place. Okay, what do we have for our next block? Now remember, this is a project that we're doing using the Fat Quarter Shop's free pattern that they wrote for Triangles on a Roll. And then I have a companion sheet that gives you regular ruler cutting and your AccuQuilt die cuts. So this week, our block is in the pattern. It's this one, which is called Salem Star in their pattern. And our theme for this week is junior competitions. So here's my worksheet, the first page, and then the back side with the directions. So junior competitions, what is that? That's like the entries that the kids do at the fairs. It might be the sewing entries, it might be the animals, all kinds of stuff like that. I would love to hear when you share your block if you have done competition as a kid, if your kids did it, if you know, all those kind of good stuff. Tell me what went on with that. I didn't compete that way because it just wasn't in my realm of where I lived. When I went overseas, I was in 5th grade and through high school graduation. But in 9th grade, there was competitions that you could enter, and I entered cooking competitions. I baked cakes and things like that, and we had sort of regional competitions that were held, and that was a lot of fun. So that was probably about the only really competitive thing that I did like that. But I have been fascinated with the idea that, you know, that the kids can do these things. All right, so what do my blocks look like? I am using my Porch Swing fabric, and I did one in the small black print from Porch Swing and then one in the large aqua daisies. So these two are for this week. I think this is the coolest block. It is such a neat block. Has square triangles and squares because that's what our whole thing is for this project. Now they go on the sides. So the great thing about this week is, and I'm going to put the black one on the right side, and I'm going to take the aqua one, so the aqua one, and put it on the left side. That's how I think the colors should go. Once I put them up here, yeah, that's good. That is good. So we can actually set this whole center now if you want to. If you want to, you can cut the spacers for here. You have that pattern, the master pattern, this one that you downloaded. So that has all the setting directions. We still have 3 more weeks of blocks, but we're going to have 1 week in there so to let people sort of catch up because of it being summer, and we're doing this a little more than one because we have to do 2 blocks each week. It's a little bit more for this one, so we'll have a week where we can at the end there before we finish to catch up. But I can sew all of this. Not only can I sew the side vertical, but then I can sew those sides to the center, and that whole thing then can be one unit. Yes, because that moves us forward. When we are making projects like this where we can sew something together, I'm all for that. I am all for that rather than waiting. Now sometimes you have to wait because of maybe how you're working with your colors. You might be doing something super scrappy, and if that's the case, maybe you really aren't sure where you want the blocks to be placed, and because these are 12-inch blocks, you could really switch them around based on color versus the actual style of the block, if that works better for what you're doing. So you don't have to set it now, but for those of you who are like me, where it's maybe a little bit more limited color palette, this is a really tight color palette in the teal, the purple, and the black with the white background. So it's very tight color palette, and it's sort of planned out already. So I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Now I will have a picture straight on of this at my website today, so you can go see what that looks like. So I think that's super cool, super cool. It's always good when you have that feeling like, yes, I can sew it up. Now, I would love to see more of your blocks. Now, I don't know if this is because it's a summer project. There seem to be a few less blocks being shown than normal for a Block Wednesday. I don't know if it's because you already have the design and you see what it is. So many of you wanted to do a sew along where you could see the design beforehand, but I don't know, I'm not seeing the blocks, I'm not seeing them. So if you have just not been sharing, please take an opportunity this week to take a picture and share it into the group, and I will collect some of those up for next week if you will share them. That'll be super fun. So I have a few cute, speaking of fun, I have a few cute things that came in the mail. This is from Crystal in Maine. Emmy is Maine, right? I think so. Yes. Oh, now I see it on there, on the stamp, Maine. Whew. Okay, I thought I was losing my high school geography. Look how cute this is with the little pink flamingos. And then inside, she sent me some stickers. Aren't they sweet? Look at them. And they're like iridescent. Look at that. And these stickers are designed by her daughter. And so she told me, she put the website. So I will link that in the description box below and under the video at my website. So thank you so much, Crystal, and your daughter. Okay, she doesn't tell me her daughter's name, but they are so cute. So cute. All right, Judy in Texas sent me, look at this card. So sweet. Look at that little bird. I love the little birds with a little envelope. Darling, so darling. She also sent me stickers. I haven't gotten stickers for a little while. I might have to put one of these on my calendar for July. So there's a whole bunch of different cute stickers. Look at this. Well, I'm showing you the same one again, aren't I? Whoops. Cute. They are awesome stickers. Also mushrooms, a mushroom notepad. Look at that notebook. I love it. And for me to go over and have a drink on you. Thank you. Mwah. And there's one more. Can you hear it? It's critter. Yes, it is. It's a critter. And this is from it's Sally Ann. No, Sally. Yeah, Sally Ann. Look at the butterflies. Oh. So, and she is from Massachusetts, right? I think that's Massachusetts. I'm reading your handwriting. And she sent me a dragonfly. Isn't that beautiful? And she designed this. And her website is Whimsical Thimbles Designs. So I will link you below. Sally Ann, this is wonderful. I love it. Love it. So pretty. I can't wait to put that up there. Yeah, gotta have a critter day here in the very, very near future. Another thing that came in the mail, which is actually going to go back out to one of you, is something that I was sent. Right. So this is from Jeanette in Washington State. And she said that she discovered she bought the book twice. It happens. We all do it, right? Home for the Holidays. She bought 2 of them. And so, lucky us. She sent this along to me so that I could send it along to one of you. Now, we're going to do this at my website today. But the other cool thing is I have, not only that, I have one of my notebooks that'll go along with that, because Kate sent me a second one, and a large size of the t-shirt. So remember, the large size is what I was wearing, which is not that loose. It's a little bit more form fitted. It's, so it's not overly sized, and so that is going to go. All of this will be at my website. And you will leave a comment there. Don't leave it here at YouTube. Don't say anything in the comments about giveaways at YouTube, because if you do, all the bots will come and send you stupid notes saying that you won, and that isn't how it works. I email you in a regular email from me, not from the bots. So just be vigilant. Yes. Keep your guards up, ladies and men, gentlemen. Keep your guards up. Don't be fooled by those silly bots. What else do we have? Oh, speaking of gents, Our buddy Kendall, who is ambassador, he has my porch swing in his online shop in Australia, and he did a project with it. So let me get the picture. So here is the quilt that Kendall did, and he has a video for it. So this is so darn cute, and it is a free pattern from Cora Quilts. But each block is one piece of the porch swing fabric. That's the same fabric I'm using for here. Isn't that cool? And he does a great video that walks you through sewing this. So you can find all of that over there. And he has like a worksheet you want to download. It's got some tips on it. So you get all of that over at Kendall's YouTube channel in the description box. So that is all linked below and at my website today. On the UFO stuff, I decided I am just going to power through on the baskets. That is the next thing. And then I might do a binding. Those are the two that I'm going to concentrate on, and getting all of that set and getting that quilt top done. So I just wanted to say that, you know, even though I have other things there on the list, this is the one that I'm going to concentrate on because I'm so close. I have this is the first of the fourth row, so it's the last row, and then I have the two more for the last row. So that's all, and I can finish up that quilt. So that will feel so good. So I have to do that, and then I have a Q&A, and I'm gonna need some stuff out to show it. So let me get the Q&A out, it's the stuff out, and then we'll do that. First Q&A is from Vipressus at YouTube, and they want to know, you have a bazillion quilts on your shelves. Do you put them in name order with a list? How do you locate them? Do you put them in season, in type? Just wondering how you organize them. Love your channel. Thank you for being here. No, and no. Basically, I have some things grouped, such as these are things that I'm working on. I need binding. I have some red and whites. I have down at the end some keep forever quilts. They're old quilts. They're specific things that I'm never gonna give away. I have some Americana, so they're somewhat loosely seasonal, but kind of loose. And then I do have some, like seasonal again, I have some Christmas, then I have some book things, I have whatever. Those don't have any rhyme or reason. Same up here. They are a whatever stacking. There is no rhyme or reason to any of those. But I do have smalls down here. Like these are all smalls, very small. And then these are all that were from fabric lines. So they're a little bit grouped, but nothing very detailed, and certainly no list because I change things and move things way too much. It just would be ridiculous to maintain. And that didn't include all the quilts hanging on the walls. There must be 30 pieces being displayed somewhere in my home right now. And I switched those out. And so it is not practical for me to make a list and track what shelf they're on. It just is really not something that appeals to me at all. But I'm sure that works for some people, just not me. So the second question I want to tell you about is from Pamela. I want to answer. So Pamela asks, do you keep a basket with white fabrics? And if so, could you show it? If so, are they all white or do they have other colors? Well, first let me explain that when I say white, yellow, green, blue, I don't mean solid, and I don't mean something that's just one shade. When if I say blue, I mean everything from palest of baby blue to deep navy with pattern, high pattern, low pattern, other colors in it. It is just a large working category. So when I say a basket of white fabric, I don't have a basket of pure white fabric. I do have some pure white fabric solids. They are over in a basket of just solids. But the baskets I call white are probably not white to you. They are many colors with a white base. So there's a white background to them, but so I don't put them, like I don't store, well I could store this one in the reds, but like I wouldn't take this piece and store it with the black fabric. I mean, that's not black fabric to me. Even though it's white base with a black image on it, that's not black fabric. It's white fabric to me. So it gets stored in here along with everything else. But the one caveat I do have to this is I do have ones with sort of less pattern on them in this basket. Things with less pattern for the most part, and they do a black and white and polka dots, but the things that have a lower pattern on them like this, they're not as high a contrast like these. This one could go in this basket, but it's not. It's over here. So that is what my white I have 3 of them. So that, like when I did the sweater weather quilt, there was just so much of this, and I used it, but I barely made a dent in it. Someday I'm going to have to do something where I kind of use a bit more and then go ahead and rehome, send them to new homes, because there's just too much and I'm just not using it up at all. So it's just lots and lots. But this is what I call my white fabric bins, and the solids are all with other solids in a basket because I just don't use solids very often. Okay, another thing, quilting in the news. We had a note from Amy. So the other thing I want to show you before we wrap up is kind of a fun thing that I'll be doing over the next few days. Going to try to work some in every day. I was talking with Kimberly at the Fat Quarter Shop, and we were just talking about how it's great that we have videos so that we can share different fabrics with you sort of up close, because looking at it on a web store, you just see that one little picture, but you can't sort of get the feel of it like you do when you see it in a video. And so I also said, like, a lot of fabric lines have some really great pieces in it that people don't realize. And so she said, well, let me just send you a bunch that you can show with everybody, and that'll be really fun. I said, that's cool. So this box came. There's quite a bit in here. That's why it's going to take me a few days, because I think what I'm going to do is group them so that because I think it's more interesting to see them, because you might be looking for something specific. And I'm going to start out, because we had our question from Pamela on white fabric, I'm going to start out with a group of lights, tone on tones, things that read more light that you would use for backgrounds. Because we have, like, you may have not bought your background yet for the Christmas mystery. We have the pumpkin coming up. There's always ways and needs that you have for backgrounds. So I'm going to show you this lovely group. I know they kind of look the same from a distance, but they're not. They have little images on them, and when they're folded up like this, you can't see it that well. So I'm going to slip my hand under each one, so you're going to see it close up and see the images that are on them, because a lot of these are white on whites or image, small image on background. So let's dig in. This one is with the fabric line Dwell, and it has tiny little evenly spaced dots, which is this is just perfect for a background. It's not white. It's a little bit more like eggshell, or a little bit not even that dark. It's lighter than that. Now this piece here is from the fabric line. I'm going to list you all of these. Nantucket Summer, and this, it has a grid, so you can see the grid there. And I love this because it's very subtle, just like the previous one. So I'm going to put these in order so you'll be able to get to them. This is Beautiful Day, and I've used this fabric line, and I love this scattered spray of flowers. It is very effective in the background. This one is a white on white, so it is a little bit more white. Now here's one that's definitely more eggshell, and even the fabric line name is very, I have to really read it. This one is the fabric line Love Lily, and that has like a little tiny diamond. It is so classic. It's just beautiful. Pumpkins and Blossoms. On here, we're with this little sort of pumpkin, like a blossom of a pumpkin. If you've ever seen that, that's what that little shape is. Very subtle again. They are just fabulous for backgrounds. Great for a fall quilt. Now here's two. These are called Eyelets, and they have that definite kind of old-fashioned eyelet feel. There you go, the eyelet. So it's a bunch of little dots and then separated by another dot. And that's the same thing on white, so a little bit whiter shade than the other one, 2 eyelets. Now a great one is my own fabric from Promise Me that has the flowers. See, it's got the flowers, and that I've used it and it's just perfect. It's just perfect. Okay, I like this one a lot because it's a little bit more. It's from the Andover 100 Years. That has a star and branches, so it's a little bit more design than the others. We've got dots, aqua dots from the Seasonal Basics at Riley Blake, and I'm sure that there must be some other colors of those dots. Now the Country Rose, I've been using this fabric line for the Barn Star, and that dot has been in it, and this is great because it has a bunch of different colors and they're a little bit muted, so this is a wonderful background fabric. And then I'll wrap it up with another Andover from Goosey, and he's got this gray with the black speckles. So even though that's not white base, I just wanted to toss it in with this grouping. I have a lot more groupings to show you. It is going to be really fun because there's just so much color. So look, I've got some red and white stars in there. So tomorrow I'll have another group of them, so be sure you come back. So let's go wrap it up. Oh, before I forget, don't go, whoops, go to my website to enter for this package, the book, the large t-shirt, and the notebook. I can't forget that. How could I forget that? So you'll do 2 junior competition blocks. And tell me about any kind of junior competitions that you were involved in, your family, your kids, grandkids, so much fun. So you're gonna make 2 of these. I made the other one in teal, which is down there. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.